how much do you love yourself? Because if you understand the value of self-love, you'll never be friends with those type of people. Most of the people out here are running around empty. They have no sense of self, no sense of self-love. When I say self-love, it has nothing to do with celebrity, money, materialistic things, and all of the things that your negative mind could probably go to. It has nothing to do with self-love. It has nothing to do with looks, nothing to do with cars and any of the superficial things that one would assume that could make you love yourself even more. It's a matter of knowing your value. It's a matter of you saying, I don't have to be around these people in these type of environments and situations in order for me to finally see the value in myself. I love me independent of you loving me. I believe in me. I know my self-worth. I know clearly that I'm a child of God, and God has a purpose over my life, and if he didn't, I wouldn't be here anymore. And I don't need you to tell me that. I don't need you to validate me. When you give me compliments, it inspires me to keep going. But you're not the reason I'm doing this. The comments, the feedback, the energy is not the reason I do what I do. I am here and I have a purpose.
We tend to base our self-esteem on what other people think. And that's not really self-esteem. Self-esteem is supposed to be how we feel about ourselves. And I was just saying how dangerous it is to allow other people to determine how you're going to feel about you. And it's kind of like looking into a broken mirror. You're going to look in a broken mirror and then change your face to try to look good in this defiled, busted, broken mirror. And it just, other people's opinions is a really shitty way to determine how we feel about ourselves.
Self-love is the cure to self-hate. I don't like you, I don't trust you, and I know you talking shit about me from behind my back. So why would I ever fuck with you? Why would anybody who truly loves themselves hang out with or mess with those type of people? Now, here are the worst type of people in the world to me. The people who literally hate your guts and dislike you, and you don't have a clue that they feel this way about you, because they're able to cover up all of their malicious energy and intentions towards you without giving you no trace that they don't fuck with you.
Every time you hit a storm, you got to deal with that. Now, every time you do something and you hear no, you get knocked down. Why? Because you didn't deal with the fact that, yes, the fact that he wasn't in your life hurt, because you walking around like, yo, so what?
But when people show you who they are and you see it to the point where you're able to talk about it, then you get an invite from this same person that you was just sitting over dinner crying about the following week, and you show up. You don't love yourself for you to be hanging out with these type of people. Nobody who loves themselves would ever entertain the idea of ever fucking with these people.
I'm a grown man, so what, he wasn't in my life? Who cares? No, you care, Eric. You care. And so there's these feelings of rejection. There's these feelings of like you're not really deep enough. Because if you was that deep, he would have been there for you. So apparently you must not have been that deep. Come on, Eric. I don't care nothing about your speaking. You're at the end of the day, you're not that deep.
I love myself. I've worked too hard for all of these years to hang out with somebody that's talking about flipping 5,000 and turning it to 15,000. So guess what, homie? Go get your money. Go do whatever you got to do to double and triple your paper. I'm out of here. Because I don't want to be on the receiving end of whatever those consequences are that may come from you doing whatever it is that you're doing. And y'all know plenty of those type of people.
But do you know what it's like to be homeless for real, for real? Like, do you understand being by yourself? You in the bed, do you understand the emotional stuff? Do you know the voices you hear when you by yourself at 16 years old? Do you know what it's like to go without eating? Like for days? Do you know what it's like being in public and you stink? Like you don't, like I ain't had no shower. I ain't had no water. You know how that feels? Like you gotta go to your old dude. You gotta go bedrock. And you gotta deal with the real. And you gotta go look my man in his face. And you gotta ask my man, why weren't you there for me? You gotta look my man in the face. And you gotta ask my man like, yo, what happened? Who was I not? What was I? And you gotta get that stuff out. Like you can't have people being like your why. Ain't nobody that deep that they could be your why. They gonna always let you down. And let me tell you something, when you're not right, you're gonna keep attracting that kind of stuff. You're gonna attract men who can peep out that you ain't there right now. Once you fix it and get it healed, I told you I walk in corporate now and I know they don't want me there, but I'm still here. And even though you don't like my hat, I love me. And even though you don't love my shoes, I love me. And even though you don't like my shorts, I love me so much that you're gonna love me when I get up out this joint.
Confidence is earned, man. It's true confidence is your actual, rating on how much you believe in yourself. And so a lot of people try to mask that with like a cockiness or a persona that makes them seem better than they are. And what they're trying to do is feed their belief in themselves. So it's a false cycle. So they are acting cocky because that makes them believe that they are great. And that's one version. The other version is someone who is so confident that they appear to be cocky and it's being read as cockiness by everybody else. And that's very common. A lot of people mistake real confidence for cockiness. When you become super confident to that point, to where you're coming off as cocky, it could be cockiness, it could be confidence, but it could be someone's persona, it could be their swag. Who fucking knows? But the truth is, if they're good and they believe they're good, most of the people are going to call them cocky regardless. No, motherfucker, I put 23 years into this shit. I've ate shit for a long time. I know what I can do. That's not cockiness. That's reality. So if you're really that good and you're still humble enough to know that you have things to learn, I think that's a really good place to be. The place, where you don't want to be is where you overestimate your skill set and then you get into a fight or a battle or a position that you don't have the skills to control and then you lose. That's where cockiness can hurt you. But like, dude, anybody who's a high performer, anybody who's really good at what they do, any of the ones that you guys see as great, any of the athletes, okay, any of them, to get to that pro level, they got a fucking ego and they have a cockiness to them. All right. It's required to go into these situations of greatness. Like if you don't believe in yourself and you don't have that swag, how the fuck are you going to go in and can go against other people that do?
You don't think they talking about you? Are you that special to where all of your homegirls talk shit about everybody and you don't think they talking about you? So when people show you who they are, you got to believe it. And you have to make the adjustments according to all of these things that are revealed to you. I don't care who you are, how much money you're worth. I have visions, I have ideas, and I have goals. Now, I believe in connecting with people on a human level, but I am very mission and goal oriented. That's who I am. And so I would much rather stay at home than to be hanging out at clubs and doing a bunch of random shit that's not connected to producing results. Because I don't need friends. I don't need to just be around a bunch of people doing a bunch of random shit because I'm like a boxer that needs my validation And you can't get to the next level with all of the devils that you have in your life. You got so many negative, mean, evil, malicious, and dysfunctional people in your life and around your circles. This is the reason why you can't clear out the clutter and get to the next level.